it's Mo. It is March, and in March is the Trans Right readathon. This is a readathon that was started a few years ago. I'm not sure, I don't know all the details, but it highlights trans books. Banned books, trans books, books with trans, non-binary, or anyone who fits under the trans umbrella, characters and authors. So this is a great readathon. I usually don't make it to this readathon. I usually realize that it's going on like when I'm already reading stuff. So this year I wanted to get a jump on it, and I wanted to make sure that I participate in the Trans Right readathon. And so I have a stack of books here. The readathon goes from March 21st to March 31st. March 31st is the Trans Day of Visibility. So this is a time to celebrate trans people, to uplift trans people. Then we go right into Trans Girl April. So Trans Girl April is a readathon that was started by Say Kevy and I think Willow from Willow Talks Books. This is a month to read trans books. Now we should be reading trans books all the time, and hopefully we are, but if you need a little incentive, the Trans Right readathon, Trans Girl April, or the Trans Day of Visibility are great reasons to pick up a trans book in the next month or so. Now more than ever, we really need to be supporting trans authors, trans characters, trans people, trans stories. We need to be letting people know about transness, and we need to be normalizing transness because trans people have always existed and they will always exist. I pulled some books for a pile of possibility and that I might read during this readathon and during the month of April. Many of these you've seen before in other Trans Girl April videos, so I will leave my other videos for Trans Girl April and for the Trans Right readathon and for the Trans Day of Visibility listed down below. The first book, and one of the books that I think I'm definitely going to read this year, is Summer Fun by Jean Thornton. This is an ARC I got at a used book sale or a little free library. This is a chunky one, a little bit bigger than I would normally read, but I do believe I can get this on one of my library apps, so I might read it on audio. And one of the reasons that I want to read Jean Thornton is because she has another book coming out this year and it looks really good. So I want to start reading their books so that I can find more and read more of their books. Excuse me, sir. Another chunky book is Loat by Shola Van Reinhold. Same thing, I found this in a little free library or a used book sale or at a used book sale, and it has a little bit of like, not mixed media, but like different styles. So there's like some that are more like little inserts. There looks like there's some things where like items are either blacked out or those are to denote different people, different things going on. I really have no idea what the premise of this book is. And actually, I don't know what the premise of this book is either. I just know it sounds fun, summer fun, and it's got like a cool cover and it looks interesting. This one I hear is like hard to read and difficult, but I do want to get to it. I'm not sure if this one is on audio, but that would be something to check. A few years ago at a Salvation Army, I found Defensive and Other by Grace Mead. This is a legal drama that takes place in New Orleans, so I am super excited to read this one. I do believe this is an indie published or self-published work, but I am excited to get to it at some point. Last year, I picked up Detransition Baby by Tori Peters. This is another one that I probably will read on audio. It's definitely not as long as those other two, but it does ring in at over 300 pages. This is about a person who has detransitioned and how they and some current and past partners of theirs decide to become a family unit. Sounds pretty interesting to me. I am also interested in Tori Peters' new work that comes out later this year. A queer modern classic is Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl by Andrea Lawyer. This is about a person who can change their gender at will. Is this an alien? Is this a shapeshifter? Like, we don't know. So this, I think, has a lot of commentary on club life and just finding a partner in general. Other than that, I don't really know what it's about, but I do know that it has been a modern classic for a while, so it's something that I would really like to get to. Recently, I discovered that the author of Several People Are Typing is either trans or non-binary. Calvin Kosulke? Is that how you say their name? I'm not sure, but I picked this one up while I was in Ohio last year, and I picked it up just because it was a weird book. I didn't realize that it was a queer book as well, but that's always exciting. And this is told told all in Slack messages. I'm currently reading a book that's told all in emails, so I think this won't be the first book that I pick up for the readathon, but I would definitely like to get to this one. Even though it's almost 250 pages, it's going to be a very quick read. Then I have gender stories. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, if you've watched my summer TBRs, if you've watched my Trans Girl April videos, you'll know that I've been meaning to pick up this zine that my friend Noah gave me forever, and I just haven't done it. I love zines, but they're just not the thing that I gravitate towards, so I really should read this one, and it's a good opportunity, but it'll probably keep showing up in other videos if I don't read it. Eventually I'll like motivate myself or shame myself into reading it because it's one that I should definitely have read by now. The final book that's on my pile of possibilities to read this month is Shore of You by Amistad Maupin, and this is the 6th in the Tales of the City series, and Amistad Maupin is a queer author, but there is a trans character in this, and I know that trans character plays kind of a vital role. Well, I mean, they play a vital role in the whole story, but in some books that are coming up, they play a very vital role, so I'm interested to see how much they come into this story. I love Tales of the City, but I haven't read this far in the series ever before. I have all of them except the last 2, I think, so I would love to read one now and then like one in the summer. These are definitely like spring, summer books to me, and I like to read 1 or 2 a year. Those are all the physical books that I have, but there's definitely some other books that I'd be interested in picking up. Georgia M. Johnson has a new book out about the Harlem Renaissance, which I think sounds really, really amazing. And then there are quite a few other trans books that have recently popped up on Libby or Hoopla, so I might read one of those as well. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I've read here. Let me know if you're planning on participating in the Trans Rights Readathon or Trans Girl April. Let me know what your favorite trans book is. Last year I read Nevada by Imogen Binney, and I was totally blown away. I loved it. So I'm definitely looking for my next new favorite trans book in 2025. Oops. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!